Alright, as you can tell that I went ahead and added the formula for the month of March, and I did the formulas for each expense to give me the total of all 3 months. You can go ahead and check your answers, and if something's not matching up, go ahead and leave a question or a comment because I'll be more than happy to help. And that goes for any time through the entirety of this course, because if something's not making sense to you, if I explain something wrong, or if I even made a mistake, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So once again, please feel free to leave a comment or ask any questions anytime. Now that we got the basics on how to build a formula, we need to learn how Excel executes each part of the formula. And what I mean by that is order of operation. Now you may have heard of this term back in your elementary, middle school days, algebra days. I know a lot of people don't like math, but hate to break it to you, Excel is all about math. Now, Excel does a really good job at doing the math for us, but we need to set up our formulas correctly so Excel will execute the formula in the way we want it to get us the correct values that we're looking for. Now, I'm going to give you a little acronym that I learned. It might be different than what you learned, but what it is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Now, this is the order that tells Excel which operation to calculate first. P is for parentheses, E is for exponents, then it goes multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. Now this is the order of operations that Excel will calculate first. What I mean by operator is that it's a symbol to perform a mathematical operation. So you got the multiplication sign, division sign, plus sign, minus sign, and so on. So just as a quick example, you don't have to follow me. I just want to show you a simple example of a formula that has a single operator and then multiple operators. In our formula, if I type in equals 5 plus 3, that has one single operator, the plus sign, and 5 plus 3 equals 8. Now if I go into our formula and adjust it and put 5 plus 3 times 2, now this formula has multiple operators. Now you would think it would go 5 plus 3 is 8 times 2, which would be 16. But according to our acronym, it does multiplication and division first, then addition and subtraction. So in this case, it's going to go 3 times 2 first, which is 6, then go to addition, which is plus 5, and 6 plus 5 is 11. Now let's go ahead and delete this and do an actual example with our monthly expense report. So let's say we want to get the average of expenses for each month. So what we want to do is type in the equal sign, click in cell B4, plus 500, plus 750, 125, plus 80, and then divide this by 5 because we have 5 expenses and we should get our average. So when I click enter, the average for the month of January was 2,391. Now if I select these cells and highlight them and check down in our status bar, we can see here, whoa, our average is 491. So what went wrong? So let's click on our cell where our formula is and kind of dissect what is happening. Excel actually has a really neat built-in tool to show how Excel is calculating the formula. To check this, what we're going to do is go to the Formulas tab and then click Evaluate Formula. And here in this box, it shows that we are adding all the expenses together and then dividing by 5. And if we click Evaluate, we could see what this formula is actually doing. So it has 1,000 for cost of goods sold, plus 500, which is 1,500, plus B6, which is 750, 1,500 plus 750 is 2,250. Then B7 is 125, 250 plus 2250 plus 125 is 2,375. Then lastly, B8, which is utilities, which is $80, and it should add 80 to the 2,375. It actually did 80 divided by 5, which is 16. So it's taking 2,375 plus 16, giving us 2,391, which we know is incorrect. So we're going to go ahead and click close. And then we're going to go back to our formula and we're going to adjust it to make sure that Excel calculates this formula in the correct order that we want it to. So we know based off our acronym that parentheses get executed first. So in our formula, we need to add some parentheses to get the correct answer. So we're going to go up to the formula bar, click inside here, add an open parentheses at the beginning, and then add a closed parentheses after we add all the expenses together. So now our formula says we're going to add all these expenses together, then divide by 5. So if we click enter, now we see our average at 491, which based off in our status bar is the correct answer. And if we click our formula again and go back up to evaluate formula and click evaluate, now we can see that it's adding all the expenses together for a total of 2455, which is our total here, and then divided by 5, which is 491. So you can see that if we don't tell Excel how to calculate the formula in the correct order, our answers are going to be way off. So it's really important to understand this order of operation. So this is actually a great time to practice and maybe do the same process for the month of February and March. And I also encourage people to play around with it. Add parentheses, add some multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, and see how Excel handles the order of operation.